what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tez here with the cast of Real and Uncomfortable. To my right, we have Rayven.
Wagwan.
And just one person over, we have Eman Musik.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As always, behind the camera, G-Lo's over there fiddling with some shit over there. I don't know. Yes, sir. It's a big day for us. We're getting ready for a couple of things, man. We got an event coming up, don't we?
The event coming up.
E-Man, what's going on? What we got happening?
March 21st, Polymaf live show.
Yonkers Brewery.
Yonkers Brewery. I'm excited. I don't really pop out for many things, so I'm excited about this. We gonna be live.
Yes,
a whole bunch
sir.
of other podcasts gonna be live. Open bar from 5 to 7, I believe. Make
Full
sure you get
2
your
hours.
ticket. I'm excited, man.
Look, man, we don't do a lot of live things. Oh, this is the first time we've done something like this. And I get a lot of like comments and things, people hitting us up talking about, hey, yo, when can I come on the show?
Right.
How can I be a part of the show?
Right.
Some of y'all even send us questions and stuff. This is a good chance for you guys to get some direct interaction. I'm sure we'll be taking some questions from the crowd, some topics, chopping it up with you guys. This is a chance for you guys to have a drink with us, ask some questions. Let's tackle some uncomfortable topics. Let's get real uncomfortable.
I heard Ted's gonna throw a twerk contest up there,
Whoa.
so stay tuned.
I'm throwing bands, man. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I heard that twerking might be a little bit people getting carried away with the twerking. People going outside of their job for the twerking, starting to lose their job for the twerking.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah. So there was some individual on the NYPD, no less.
You going straight to that one?
I
Okay.
want to. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was the most shocking thing to me, man. Like, she was a baddie too. She was a joke.
But okay, let's be real. Was it really shocking though? With the landscape that we in right now, OnlyFans, all of that, is it really shocking to see an officer when she's off work or whatever it is, twerking in a music video?
All right,
is it really like?
I feel like
for me, I wasn't shocked. I feel like
twerking, but twerking in a music video, I feel like possibly.
No, let's
Why?
paint the picture for real here, because it wasn't just the twerking, right? It was what she was wearing while twerking or not wearing while twerking. She wasn't completely nude, but she was in some very suggestive clothing. It was in a music video too, so it was very provocative. I'm not saying that it was illegal by any means. It's not bad and nefarious.
right. Right.
You got a problem with my vocabulary, G-Lo? My nigga, what's going on? I'm gonna start bringing dictionaries just to throw at your head when I'm over here, bro. I appreciate
Come
it,
on,
man. Yeah, they love me too. So when it comes to that, right? I think that is just about image. Imagine like you worked hard. There's a certain stigma already with the NYPD about professionality. We already know that some of them are. I don't want to paint them in a bad light, but we understand that not everybody's on the up and up.
They're human.
But okay, as humans, do we have a responsibility to maintain a code of ethics?
Nah, I think so.
Especially for certain positions, right?
I'm a girl's girl, right? And
So let me prepare you for this. By saying that, she's about to excuse any bad behavior.
No, I'm not. I'm not about to excuse any bad behavior. I'm just saying I'm a girl's girl, right? I feel like people should do what they want to do, but they have to understand that there's consequences
There we go.
behind what you do. If you're okay with those consequences, by all means, like I'm not offended by it, but I feel like you can't do something and then be upset by what you were served
Right.
if you chose to do it. That's all I'm saying. Do I think she should have gotten fired?
I think it's a little hard.
No, I think there's cops out here that do way worse.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely think that she should have had a talking to. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not gonna lie to you, and we've all seen the shows, and not to say that they're based in any truth, but you can imagine that there are people who work outside of rules and regulations to even get their jobs done, right? So I think that what she did is occupationally harmless. It's not really detrimental to her job day to day, but I still think that us, and I might be in the minority here, us as a society should kind of keep some shit separated, right? Like, do you feel like professionals should be able to have OnlyFans accounts and things of that nature?
Listen, so I'm not gonna say what I do for work, but
Yeah.
it has to do with children, and I know a professional that got fired for having an OnlyFans, like
Wow.
right out of school, and she works with high school students. So, and to me, I'm looking at her like, bitch, are you dumb? Like, if I go on vacation and I'm surrounded by things that I know the parents that I work with their children with are not going to be fond of seeing, I'm not about to post it. Or I'm going to post it to my close friends. Like, I'm very private when it comes to certain things. So I know that people can take something, and turn it against me if they don't like who I am as a person or what I do.
Exactly. I don't know. I think that when it comes to certain jobs, I know we're not back in the 50s or the 60s where everything is like Leave It to Beaver level of wholesomeness, but I think we might have went a little bit far in what we expect or accept on a day-to-day. And yes, I understand that many people now partake in certain behaviors, but I do think that there's a level of separation that we should maintain just because character comes into question. Not to say that you're a bad person, but your judgment, we need it to be, I don't know, man. I think certain professions you just shouldn't dabble in.
Playing devil's advocate, right?
Okay.
Let's say if it's true that because they're claiming that the video was shot in 2013, so almost
a decade ago.
Yeah, almost 10 years ago. Playing devil's advocate. If the video was shot 10 years ago and she just got the job a year ago, should she be affected by that?
Okay, now here's the problem with that, right? We're in 2025.
For sure.
You know that there's been plenty of people who have been victims of cancel culture for statements, not even actions, but statements made, dug up over a decade ago.
Okay.
So if that's the precedent, then unfortunately that's a problem. Now, we can say that cancel culture goes too far.
It does. Definitely.
But okay, now I'll give you an uncomfortable hypothetical. You have somebody who is now a head of HR in your company, and it surfaces that they had some really racially inflammatory remarks during the time of the pandemic. Maybe they weren't the fondest of certain movements going on. Should that affect their employment, being that
I feel like that's different because like your racial views on people affects how you do your job, especially in an HR position.
Okay.
Her twerking and grinding and whining has nothing to do with her being a police officer when she clocks in. Like,
well, okay, that's the thing though. Certain positions are supposed to be upheld for a moral standard.
Personally, I feel like if this was a different artist, like if this was
a bigger artist,
if this was Drake or Tory Lanez or whatever, like this wouldn't even be a topic of discussion. She probably would have got a round of applause. But I feel like because this nigga's music is trash.
If she was doing it for them, then
so you
like,
he caught a huge stand on the side.
I was trying to follow, bro.
Whoever can't do this.
So translation, the song is trash.
Song's trash. The artist is
and the only
trash.
reason why people are hating is because the song is trash. So if it was
a good song,
I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
I think she's on to something because if it was a Drake video, people would have been supportive.
They would have supported her. It's like, oh, look at her. She on her. She on her shit.
Keep in mind though, the outrage, and unfortunately we can't split it because it is what it is.
Yeah.
The outrage is for what she's doing in the music video, not just for being in a music video. Say she was like a 90s style video vixen, or even like, let's take it not even that far back. You know the No Guidance video where it's just like Drake and Chris Brown at a party and people are just there. It's a bunch of extras and maybe there's one who's extra close to one of the artists. If she's just eye candy for that sake, I don't think this is problematic. I think that maybe they're like, hey, I hope, you didn't, this isn't why you called out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think this is a problem.
I feel like if that's the case, people need to grow up. Like, I can't like imagine how many times like you'll see like a pregnant woman at work and people like, oh, that's so cute. Look at your belly. Her ass was busting it open over the balcony 9 months ago.
But yes, but it wasn't.
Grow up.
Okay, now if the tape leaks of her creating that baby,
okay,
then that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's different.
That's a different story.
But I'm saying if this happened 10 years ago, as they are saying, and she became why not congratulate her?
Okay.
For progressing in life.
Fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe it was an explored career path.
Like,
all right, big question now, right? There's a ton of people who, at this point, OnlyFans is a path to fame.
Right.
how does that affect those who maybe weren't so successful at it or were successful enough at it and walked away? Their stuff is out there. Their stuff, maybe they became a name. Can those people who created a name for themselves in that avenue then move into something that's a little bit more wholesome?
I think
It's very hard.
You need to be honest about it. Like the same way I feel like drug addicts are honest. They're like, yo, I was addicted to drugs for 10 years, right? I feel like that's how people who did things like this in the past need to be. Because if you spill your tea before somebody can spill it for you, then there's nothing you can say about it. You know?
But then do you think that will, because a drug addict saying that is reasonable cause to lose out on opportunity. Do you think that OnlyFans is reasonable cause to lose out on opportunity?
It depends on what field you're in and who's willing to stand behind you.
Can you give us an example of those fields?
Yeah.
It says what?
Those fields.
Those fields?
Whatever fields, what fields do you feel like it impacts?
I feel like it impacts the education field because basically, like, what happens with this stuff is like it depends on the audience,
Right.
Right. If whoever received it caused an uproar, then it's really over for you, no matter what.
That's true.
If I said something up here and somebody sent it, they didn't like it or whatever, and they sent it to my boss because it caused such an uproar, they're gonna let me go because they don't want to deal with the reaction of the people.
That's very
They just
true.
want a solution. So I feel like a lot of people where it affects a vulnerable population, like children, if it affects a group of people like LGBT, if it affects a minority group like African Americans, then typically, you know,
They
it is
try to
what
get
it
rid
is.
of it, get
It
done
is what it
anyway.
is. Like you're done for. But if you're behind a strong company, like for instance, right, like where I worked, they try to blame one of my staff for smoking on school grounds. He's the only black male in that company, but my company stood behind him.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
You know, but if they didn't, you know, all of these white people were like, "Oh, it smells like weed in here. It has to be you."
Yeah.
They could have easily got rid of him, but the company was like, "No, you guys have no proof. Show us the cameras." You know, so I feel like it depends.
Okay. Now that said, you brought up a good point that the company has a say because the company at the end of the day has to look out for itself as an entity. What happens when you're a poor representation of the company?
Then they're obviously gonna let you go. That's money. If money's affected and it's affecting the business, you have to let the people go. Like if you continue to be a poor representation, if he showed up to work and he smelled like weed after that,
Right.
then it's kind of like, all right, bro, like now you're ruining the rapport that we have with this district. Obviously, they're gonna let him go, but
Now, I mentioned that because there was another case where a woman was let go. She was a flight attendant, and she filmed herself twerking. And mind you, by today's standards, it was completely modest, right?
It was PG.
It was very PG. I think she was just dancing. She celebrated the fact that she just got the job. She was happy to be on the job. Unfortunately, it seems like she filmed the video while on the job. Now, again, wasn't that bad. I would consider it harmless. I think most would. Problem was she was wearing her uniform and on one of the planes. She was then terminated.
gotta read your employee guidebook. Just,
Okay.
There's nothing else to say after
I
that.
know. You gotta
I
read
think
your
that
employee
is where
guidebook.
she messed up. Like, you're not gonna wear the uniform and twerk on the plane and think you're not gonna get in trouble. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, twerking and like that world.
I hope she does something with this though, because I mean, if enough people are like, you know, that's wild or whatnot, maybe she could
about
turn
to
this
start
into her OnlyFans. Okay,
Oh my God.
Nah, but I think with the OnlyFans, like,
only
not,
first class.
only first class.
Fast.
Not
Sexy
to
flight
shame
attendant
videos.
not to shame people, but I think it's important to stop promoting.
Promiscuity.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is I feel like a lot of women are not honest in that world. There was a girl who reached out to me. We're not gonna say her name, but she wanted me to like manage her OnlyFans account. She saw what I do social media. She's like, "Can you do that with OnlyFans?" We had a conversation, and she was telling me like, "Yeah." When she started, I think she made like 15,000 in 1 month. But it could go from 15,000 to $100 a month.
Yeah.
and most of them don't promote that $100 a month or don't let you know that. So you got girls who think that $15,000. Oh yeah, let me quit my job and let me start an OnlyFans, not knowing that it goes there's
up and down.
Crazy dip.
I'm sorry to say this, but like I mentioned before, OnlyFans is the new path to fame for a lot of women. There's women who, have taken the example that you just made and leveraged that to skip college or any pursuit of any career once they finish high school, have the say over themselves, they're of legal age, and they're able to do whatever they want. And I don't know, man. I know, when you're in the rap world, there's already topical debate over what should be promoted and what shouldn't. But I don't know. I feel like maybe we're getting a little too loose with it to believe that it doesn't affect your future, what you do, your life, and that you can basically, to your point, you said somebody got fired for doing this. The fact that you believe that you can do that at that scale simultaneously while doing something that's in the professional world, that's a little bit,
delusional.
That's delusional. At a certain point, putting those things out there with no preservation of anonymity even. Some people are no, they should just accept what it is I am and do. I don't think you can force a company to do that.
The wild part is her students found her.
Well, that's the danger, isn't it? That's the danger, right?
And it's what were you really thinking at the end of the day? I don't know. I mean, she was married, so it just made me question. I wasn't really, in cahoots with her at all. But was your husband in the know of this? And if so,
I mean, well, that's a whole other thing, right? I've heard of people who have lost prominent positions in companies due to affairs. And that's something that's highly personal. However, like I mentioned with the police officer, there's a standard of ethics that you expect from people. And even though we are very sex forward as a society nowadays and try to be extremely accepting over a lot of things that we may not have a couple decades ago, promiscuity is still viewed as something that's a point of character. Yeah. Either way, I know. I'm sorry. I might have made that go a little too, but yeah, man. I don't know. I feel for both of them. I hope that Shorty who got fired from being a flight attendant, she gets some other form of employment.
Yeah, she'll be flying Spirit.
Look, man.
They'll take her.
I'll say it. Maybe if it had something to do with brand alignment. She was, mind you, again, she wasn't twerking. The NYPD lady, she basically was a stripper on the video, right?
Yeah.
That's what she was trying to be. The other girl, the flight attendant, I think if it was for a different company, she's now the face of their marketing campaign. I think that they rally behind the image. One of the biggest prevalent things, marketing strategies, have been black women, black girl magic. If you have that type of energy, I feel like she could have led a charge as far as a marketing
Black Girl
campaign.
Magic is not about to back no twerking on the airline, and if they do, we're gonna have to talk.
Oh, word! You
That's-
about to
that's
be you?
wild.
You found flaws in it? Okay, never
That's
mind.
wild.
That's different. Okay,
That's disrespectful.
That's not what I expected from you. I thought you'd be behind it all the way.
No,
Facts.
you too.
But no.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
I can believe that somebody sent in
Oh, they had a story.
Oh,
They had a
question?
situation.
not necessarily a question, but just they want advice.
Okay.
I was gonna let Ray read
You
that.
let me
real quick.
read it. What if I
Yeah.
couldn't read?
What you mean? You working with the kids? What you mean?
Let me get together. Okay, here's the question,
That's
right?
why they read it. Never mind.
I have a genuine question. Do you think it's okay for women to never marry? Because I am a woman, but I never felt any desire to marry or have kids. Ooh, girl. The thing I felt pressured by the Lord to do is feed the homeless because I love cooking and I have a heart for a household. 1 Corinthians 7:8 says, it's only good to marry if you burn with passion and need to marry in order to control yourself. I've never had some men argue with me and say that verse is only for men.
What are your thoughts?
Ooh.
Can I say
Let
something?
it out. Oh yeah, you got.
Right off the bat, ma'am, become a nun. I'm like, is that
Not a nun. That's too
crazy,
drastic.
bro.
No.
like? I'm just okay.
That's too drastic.
Maybe not an exact number. Like, there's women who follow this. Like, you don't you go to church, there are plenty of women who made it their entire lives to serve, right?
But why can't she just date without getting married or? You know what I'm saying?
Is
Live
that
her
what
life
she's trying to do?
No, I think that's what it is.
I thought she said that her calling, she's never felt the desire
to get married. It's probably like a thing to where she goes to like family gatherings and then like, yo, why you not married yet? You don't have a husband? You don't got kids?
But even in that case, then like, okay, I think it's weird to be when people say I'm dating to be married.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think you should be just trying to find somebody to like plop in the spot that you expect them. I think the idea should be waiting to have that relationship with somebody.
No, waste of time. Waste of time.
I mean,
waste of time.
Waste of time. I think you should.
All I'm saying is making sure that you get to the point where you actually like the person. Like, this shit is not like a job interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want them to meet certain criteria. No. But for me, if you're saying like my sole motivation is to get married, and therefore every interaction I have, I feel like you're going to end up settling with somebody who just checks a couple of the boxes, and then that's it.
You're going to end up settling by getting to know somebody, like, and looking past their flaws. I'm sorry, like.
But don't you determine whether or not you stay with them and they got these flaws? Why would you be with somebody who has so many flaws that you would?
I feel like it's really hard to say because when you're in the dating phase with somebody, you're going based off the feeling that they give you. Right, you're on a hype like this is new, this is exciting. I was just out in my single life. Now I have somebody who's pertaining, like giving me just their sole attention. Right,
you know,
you're brainwashed when you start dating somebody for a long period of time. Those flaws are there, and they're just peeling like fucking
slowly but surely.
Fucking bananas.
Here's my problem.
I wasn't done yet.
Okay,
let her cook.
I don't like the smell of what she's cooking.
Let her cook.
I'm just saying. And then once you see those flaws and all your time is in, then you're just like, well, damn, I've been here for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, a decade, and this person's not giving me what I need. When you could have just saw the flaws from the beginning,
called it out.
And took a left.
One thing, okay, first off,
like took a left.
You half listening because that's exactly what I said.
Is that what he said?
Why would you continue dating somebody if you're seeing the flaws and you see it's going nowhere?
You said get to know them.
No, I mean like
you shouldn't date to marry.
It was a wording.
The wording. When you say you shouldn't date to marry,
no. All I'm saying is that if your idea is marriage alone, then you're waiting for them to hit certain criteria. Then what's the time frame then? Because it's easy to say it, but how does that play out? Tell me, because that means that you're probably going to be like, all right, hey, you make this amount, you do this, you're here with your life, you say you're ready and committed to be with me too, but you don't know this person's personality.
No, I feel like people don't really show you the real them until they're completely comfortable. So there's really no distinct time frame to a relationship. But once they show you who they are, you gotta believe it and not go based off of the initial like watered down version that they shown you. So I feel like what a lot of people do is like, well, they were this way in the beginning of the relationship.
Oh,
maybe they can be like this, later on. This is in. I feel like you can't hold on to like the past. You gotta like truly focus on what they're showing you right now. And if you're not fucking with it, dip.
So I've seen so many people who talk about how their marriages are falling apart because of traits and things that they might have overlooked. And to me, that is a result of you rushing to get to the what you assume is the finish line. But people don't understand, and again, mind you, I'm single, so far be it from me to tell you guys this, but the wedding is not a finish line. The marriage is not a finish line. The marriage is a process. People continue to grow and learn and all of these other things. So you better make sure that this person embodies the trait of somebody who is down to learn you and you're down to learn them. And there's that sort of a commitment versus just checking boxes to get to that point entirely. That's all I'm saying. Now, whether or not the woman who offered that, that post there, whether or not she finds the person that inspires her to get married is going to come by her actually getting to know people. That's what I mean. Like you gotta get to the point where you see that this person they want to be with you.
No. But from my perspective, if I feel like for women there's a certain level of pressure to get married, to have kids, and I think genuinely some women lie to themselves. They want it, but they're like, if you genuinely don't want it, that's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You just have to accept what comes with it. You're gonna be 70 by yourself and a couple cats. Yeah. Even if, regardless, put the judging aside, are you okay with being by yourself while all the friends that you have are with their grandkids, their nephew, you know what I mean? Like, if you're okay with that, then it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I mean, also, like, keep in mind, marriage, the purpose of marriage, while we want to put the romantic aspect in it and the self-fulfillment thing, it's a unit to build family and push the next generation.
That's it.
People oftentimes, even within marriage, make selfish decisions that don't actually benefit their next generation if they have kids, right? And then that's when you have broken families and things of that nature. Granted, there are definitely reasons to leave. If you're being abused, if you feel like there's, some sort of disrespect in that nature, or you're just being together is so toxic that it's terrible for the kids anyway, then for sure, end that. But most people don't live their marriage as if it impacts the kids or their families or anything of that nature.
I feel like this is an unpopular opinion, but like, I don't believe in marrying for love anymore. I don't. I really don't. I really don't.
By definition,
I don't.
That's a setup of failure.
No, but by definition, it is for utility.
I don't, like, I just feel like if I am to marry, I'm taking love out of the equation. I'm really just looking at the person like for who they are with me and who they are without me and how they move, because
that's how it's supposed to be.
It's just, but
like this whole thing of love is like a marketing strategy that, businesses have used to finesse y'all. You know what I mean?
The idea of love that is generally pushed is like flowers, hearts, and rainbows versus acts of service.
I'm like,
and living for people.
Fuck that. Like, I just want to see who the person is. How do you move? How are you gonna raise my kids? How are you gonna like operate when things go low? Mm-hmm. How are you gonna treat me when things go low? What do you expect for me to do when you don't have it? What do I like all of that stuff, because at the end of the day, like, you have to be compatible outside of having feelings for that person. You know what I mean? And if you're not compatible, the shit is not gonna work.
And women, same thing. You don't have to earn that vote from the dude first. Like, make sure that shit is mutual. Otherwise, you're gonna. Because here's the problem, right? As much as we may believe that everybody's operating on the same intellectual level, some people's emotional intelligence is not so complex that they can understand that leverage that they have and meet you and appreciate it. Some people use that as continued leverage throughout the entirety of the situation. That's how you guys, all right, I know so many of my female friends that are in situations or can tell me 1,000 situations where they've talked to a guy and they found themselves doing everything, right? And they said, well, dude didn't really show me any love. I was trying to do X, Y, Z. I was doing all of these things for dude, and it never seemed like he appreciated me. The fuck you think that was, right? That was you doing the work. Oh, why should I show a man that I could be a wife before he's this, that, or the third? The only reason why you hate that is because when you did it last, you did it for somebody who never showed you they liked you.
Yeah, but can you fault somebody for having those point of views?
Yes,
I feel like at the end of the day, like,
we're grown, Rayven.
But I feel like you treat women like they are from the outside, like they stray dogs. But that's because of your past.
I understand you trying to throw an insult my way
to
make it personal.
I'm not throwing an insult. I'm just giving an example.
My point. That's not an example if you make it me, Rayven.
Okay.
The problem is that when women who have a lot to offer decide to offer it to men who already look down on them,
can I tell you what that is? Can I tell you?
It's not going to work.
I think a lot of times that's a form of control. Because if you're in a position where you're doing everything, to a certain extent, you kind of have control. If you got the car, if you got the crib, if he's living with you, if he's driving your car, you have leverage.
It's safety.
It's safety.
I don't know. I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't really think that there's any woman on this planet
Who?
that truly wants.
Here's the problem with that, because when you flip the script,
Wait, let
his eyes is
her
tweaking,
talk
his
that
eyes
out,
is tweaking.
please. Go ahead.
His eyes is tweaking. What I'm trying to say is, I don't really think that there's truly a real woman. Okay, we talk real woman.
Let's go.
That truly wants control. I feel like at the end of the day,
What?
bullshit. Complete
At
and
the
utter
end of the
bullshit.
day, I feel like at the end of the
bullshit.
day, a lot of real women want to be in a submissive situation where they're with a man who can take the lead and take control. I feel like
A
the
lot of women want that lead,
All right,
but ain't
no,
willing to listen.
No.
Here's the problem.
They ain't
though.
willing to
No,
listen.
here's
No.
the problem with that,
It's
right?
not.
Here's the problem, because then, right, there's two extremes. There's the women who are like, nah, I will never date a man who makes less than me, a man who's all of these things. I need to date
Okay.
up or
Okay.
across, right? And then there's the women who have fantastic jobs that, find their way to the dude who's doing absolutely nothing. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't understand the dynamic. You understand the power dynamic when a millionaire take Future, right? Future has
That's like the most toxic person.
no, but
okay,
hear me
go
out
ahead.
here, right?
Take him.
Or even, take any professional athlete. Any professional athlete who's picked up the beautiful woman who only had a modeling career, right? And now has changed her entire life. But when they divorce, why do they get alimony? It's because he had financial control over the situation. Why is it that we understand it in that context, what financial control means, but we don't understand it in the context
But we
of
know, but I
reverse?
feel like we know the stats based off of those women. They typically go after these basketball players, rappers for the money, who they are. So I feel like if you take a normal, can't say Jane Doe. What's the male version of a Jane Doe?
No, this
Joe
ain't-
Doe,
Joe Blow,
whatever,
Joe Blow.
Joe
No,
Doe,
it's,
whatever.
Average Joe.
If you take
John
that,
Doe?
yeah, if you take
No,
the
John
average, okay.
John Doe is like never mind. It's like an unidentified.
That's what
But
I'm
it's the
saying.
same-
Yeah, John Doe. If you take the average John Doe, like, that's not the typical situation.
No, it is.
It's not. It really isn't.
I hear what you're saying though, E. I think that a lot of ladies come into the situation understanding that that's leverage. Like, you can kind of get on a nigga if he's not doing his shit. And
Yo,
you
I
control
guarantee you, no women is talking to each other, telling some, oh yeah, he's driving my car. He's living at my house.
I don't think it's a brag.
He's like, it's not.
It's
Like,
not
nobody.
something to brag about.
It's not a flex
When-
for the outside, but within the relationship.
Nobody. But I'm telling you, no woman. I don't know.
You
I don't know.
you never seen Baby Boy?
I've seen it, but you saw how upset she left his ass.
Yes, but it was still a thing of
No,
he's driving my car.
I'm telling
he's
you.
at my crib.
I feel like that's the insult to him. Like when he tries to man up and put her in her place, she checks him like, nigga, you ain't doing shit. You're driving
What do you think
But
that is?
She doesn't. That's not what she wants to do, though.
That's her ammunition.
That's the secret weapon. Like,
I feel like you
know what I
guys
mean?
are taking his shortcomings and switching it as like she did not make him an unmotivated individual.
But she chose him.
Yes.
Right.
As he was unmotivated.
Based off of love, though.
It's not love. It's never based off of love. It's based off
Dick?
of
Like,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, based
You
off of
lay in
dick.
the pipe right.
She loved the dick. That's it. Okay, period.
And that's where she effed
we
up.
can agree on that.
That's what she effed
But what
up.
I'm saying is she doesn't want. It's not because of control. I'm sorry. It's not.
I think
It's not.
it is defense. It is her leverage.
What are you controlling? He got no money. He got no job. He got no car.
You're semi-controlling the relationship.
You're controlling the power dynamic.
Yeah.
He can't tell you shit because he ain't got shit to tell you about.
Right. He tried to raise his voice. It's like, well, hold on. This is my house. You could leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see it?
No, I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not about to. No.
Look, man. Okay.
No,
Well,
I'm sorry.
either way, how do y'all feel about the idea of somebody growing on you?
Growing on you?
I feel
Yeah.
like it could happen.
It definitely.
Because somebody said
It
that
happens all the time.
most people's problems is that the person who they're actually looking for is a person that they're not interested in it at all.
100%.
But then what does that mean? Like, how does that translate to what it is that they're actually looking for?
I feel like attraction, it could be very deceitful because you can see a lot of things that aren't in a person when you're attracted to them. So I think if you have somebody around you and they grow on you, you're truly falling for,
It's more genuine
for who they are. And yeah, like you said, it's genuine. And I think that's more solid than for me going based off of somebody because I'm just attracted to them. Like, I'm playing their game, they're playing my game. Like, you know what I mean? And it's, I don't know. I never seen a situation that worked out to the benefit versus like somebody just becoming friends first and then actually growing into partners.
I agree.
I got friends that found out they was gay.
Whoa.
Based on I did like.
No, I'm trying to understand what I like.
Yeah, how does that play out?
Well,
You gotta lay
not
out the
gay,
story.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
like we were in college and we're like a big group of like 12 people. Like, we hung out all the time, and I had these two female friends. One of them was my best friend. The other one I met through school, and they used to hang out all the time. And all of a sudden, like one day, they're like, "Oh, we're in a relationship."
But I think this is where like.
But they weren't gay before. They went, first of all, before y'all start doing what you're about to do, they both went back to men after their relationship, and they both have kids now. And they're both still in their relationships. So it wasn't.
That was where I was going with
I don't think that they were necessarily gay.
I think that was convenience.
Convenience.
I don't know.
I've spoken to girls who get in situations like that because they don't want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
They want to have company, but they don't want to get pregnant. They don't want to, you know what I mean?
Literally that.
Yeah.
Don't get me
Listen,
wrong. That doesn't
they both
downplay.
It's not everybody.
had
Not everybody.
opportunities.
It's not
I'm just
everybody.
saying.
There are people who are genuinely interested
Right.
in the opposite. I mean,
In
in
the
the same
same
gender.
sex.
Yeah, but there are some people
A
who
lot.
dabble because it serves their
But
purpose.
to me, they were dating for over a year, and the only reason why they broke up, to my knowledge, was because one of them felt like it was a sin. They were living in sin,
Okay.
and that's the reason why they split. But they did love each other.
Fair. Okay. Sure.
But yeah, I'm just saying it could happen. You
I got
know?
a question. What is love?
Oh.
Because people throw that around left and right.
They do throw it around left and right.
What's love?
I don't even have a definition for you.
You don't love your man?
I do, but I feel like
What's how do you describe
it's a
that?
combination of like feelings. You know, for me, I feel like if I was to describe it just
Cortez
off,
just
off
closed
the
his
rip,
eyes.
what do you close your eyes for?
I don't. I'm
He
sorry.
hurt feelings. He said, ugh.
Oh man.
I feel like
crazy.
when I love someone, this is in relationship, outside of relationship,
Right.
like I would truly like do anything for that person, like without
Anything.
a doubt.
There you go.
Anything. Like, this is like my friends
put your
too.
life on the
I'll
line.
put my life on the line for the people I love. I swear on my life I would. Like,
So somebody walk in here, you
even like, I don't
you
know.
stepping in front of you.
I'm not sure if I would do it for y'all. Like, y'all my guys, okay? Y'all
Wow,
my guys.
That's crazy.
Yo, it's
That's crazy.
But I feel like if I was to die, y'all would give me like one RIP post and that's it. Like,
Damn,
that's what
son.
you would say. Damn, son, I can't
Damn.
believe Rayven.
Rayven
And
gone,
that's
man.
it. That's it. But like,
Oh.
I feel like the people that love me back, like they gonna rock with me for.
But
for life.
you said it's a feeling.
It is, to me. It is a
I
feeling.
think it starts its feelings.
Feelings come and go though.
But
But
that,
I mean,
you could wake up
okay,
feeling-
Okay, I feel like love is an action. If you
Yeah,
if you
okay,
wanted
now-
to put it to
now-
something, love's an
Now
action.
we cooking.
I think we got to start with love languages, right? Like my personal one of my love languages outside of physical touch, because everybody gonna throw that shit out first,
Nobody
is
was even
acts
saying
of service. It was
Nobody.
brewing. The slander's
You
brewing.
talking about romantic love?
I'm talking about romantic love. But hear me out here. Because even our last conversation when we had when we were guests on the Talk to Me podcast, we talked about unconditional love, right? And I'm a strong believer that unconditional love and romantic love are things that exist separately, right? I think that you can have romantic love first, but romantic love by definition comes with conditions, right? Now, I think that you can be with somebody so long that you grow past only having romantic love with them, and then you'll have the situation. Somebody in the comments so graciously or gracefully said, the relationship can cease to exist, but the love remains. But at that point, to me, that's no longer the romantic love. That is the love of I wish the best for you. I love
But
your
that's
soul and things.
unconditional love.
Yes,
though.
but that
You
is
call it unconditional love?
I
That-
think
I feel like at the end of the day, like I just like he mentioned before, because that's something I was gonna say. Like I feel you can grow to love somebody for so long that it becomes unconditional. It could happen to people. It can, like, despite whatever happens, how much they hurt you, whatever, you could just want to see them happy. Are some people who go through trauma and will deal with those conditions to just have access to that love. And I'm not saying it's healthy.
that's attachment
That's what I'm
though.
saying.
I'm not
right.
saying it's healthy.
That's attachment though.
Right.
But it happens.
No, you're right. And I just mean that even to get to that point, it has a lot of the actions have to be done, right? Genuine things done to push beyond. And that's in a relationship. That's love to me, is how they show up for you every opportunity they have, how you show up for them and those situations. Now, is it just wrapped up in feelings and can it disappear? I'm a strong believer that yes, it can. I think under
Right.
certain circumstances that it can disappear. Even not just the extremes of abuse or cheating or things like that. I do think that if the love or the luster starts to fade, whatever it was that caught your eye. Somebody tried to come at me in the comments before and they were like, how can you say that somebody's personality, their aura, their all of these things, their character, all of that stuff is just a thing that disappears. But people change and grow all the time.
Right.
Even the person who you met in that moment is a sum of the experiences that they had before they met you.
Right.
And they will continue to have experiences that will shape them just the same.
Right.
So as in marriages, when people go through hardships, they always say to see somebody through certain seasons because there are certain things that change a person. Loss changes a person. Growth changes a person. Wealth changes a person. All of those things, you are experiencing a new individual. And who's to say that the characteristic that drew you so close to them remains the same? To me, that's why that love is not unconditional, because the very conditions had to exist for it to exist.
Right, for it to be there.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. I promise you, once you have a child, that's when you see unconditional.
Thank you. That's it.
Because they don't have to do anything for you and the love is there. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like when it comes to romantic love, they have to do certain things. It's not just randomly, I see you and I love you. And no, it's not. For your child, my son, he's just there.
So
he didn't have to do anything for me to love him this much.
for like, let's say like my dad, like I feel like I experience unconditional love from him.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, like on my mom's side, I didn't experience unconditional love for her.
Okay.
Fair.
Because, and just in my head, like from what I'm seeing, I felt like she loved my dad.
Right.
And everything she did was for him.
Right.
We were just the product of that.
Okay.
So I don't really think like it just shuts off or like the children are the threshold of unconditional love. I just feel like that's just something that's like known. I feel like love is like innate or it's like a habit. Like
Okay.
and
love
I
is
feel
habits.
like it's a habit. Like your body, for instance, like somebody who's abused, right? If I was to go like this, they'll automatically flinch. I feel like your body gets used.
No fear in Eman's eyes.
To
right now.
yeah, that's how you know he's not abused. But him, no, I'm kidding. But I feel like
Verbally abused.
Right,
Goddamn. Fuck, bro. Shit.
But I feel like love comes from habit. So how you behave on a daily basis with said person or said child or whatever the case is, that's how your body reacts to them. So it's like almost like innate.
I guess there's different types of love. You know what I mean? Like, because, yeah, I genuinely don't see how anybody can have unconditional love.
I don't want
Because
to.
when it comes to romantic love, it can always change.
Yeah.
No matter how much people are like, yo, I still love you. No.
Don't get
no,
me
you don't.
wrong. Shit is still hit and miss, right? Even when it comes to children, right? There are some people who don't want kids,
Right.
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 Shorty in the comment right there, she has no desire to have them.
Right.
So even if she was to, meet maybe the right person, that doesn't mean that that's now in her plans.
Right.
I think right now Anthony Edwards is in this whole big custody battle, or I guess it's less than a battle. He wants nothing to do with the child he had with I forget who the woman
IG
is.
model is on?
I believe so. But she went ahead, had the kid, and now she's saying like, well, he's choosing to be in some of his children's lives and not the
That's
one that
crazy.
And his defense was, I told you I did not
rocking
want
with
that.
you.
I told you I did not want you. I told you that the
that's
scenario
conditional.
was this. And then for what it's worth, we weren't there, but because we weren't there, we don't know what type of, sweet nothings he whispered in her ear. Baby, you my only one, this, that, or the third, because they was clearly intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't understand, like, maybe he was as straight up as possible. And I don't know if y'all saw this Amber Rose interview. She is no longer a feminist because she said that she saw the dark side of women who would, lie about being pregnant or having abortions or whatever else to take advantage of men. And maybe she thought that he would.
Too little, too late.
How do you feel about men having sex with women, knowing the possibility that they could bear a child, like unprotected sex, and then being like, "Oh, I don't want to have your kid"?
Very irresponsible. And I have conversations with dudes all the time where it's like, bro, you knew that you having sex with her could lead to this. Now that she's pregnant, you gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna lay down, you better be prepared for that. You can't be like, all right, cool, we had sex unprotected, you pregnant, just get an abortion. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm
Can't do that.
about to play super devil's advocate here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We're in 2025. One of the things, and I know that it's currently under attack in a lot of people's eyes, one thing that we as a people voted for was for reproductive rights.
Okay.
Right? And with that, we voted and developed certain protections. I
hope
think
you're not talking about Plan B.
No, I'm just.
Oh.
I will say this. I'm talking about any form of contraception, as well as also being on the same page as whoever it is you're dealing with.
Right.
I think that while there's people who are completely irresponsible, take no precautions whatsoever, do all of the things, and maybe they already knew that Shorty was, on that type of time.
Right.
I think you're a fucking moron, right?
Right.
Now, I will also say that there's some people who might have had conversations like that, and they came to terms with the ideas like, yeah, you ready for kids? No, I'm not ready for kids either. Okay, cool. Well, you're going to do this. I'm going to do that. First off, birth control fails, right? It does. Contraception fails. All of it does. And then that's why they have the existence of Plan B. That's why they have the abortion pill. That's why they have abortions in general.
I feel like we take that too lightly.
I do too. I do think
I
for
see,
people
like,
using it as
females,
recreationally,
like, just like,
popping them like
popping
Skittles,
them,
You
right?
know what I seen?
Not
You're not
really.
about to say what I'm about to
No,
say.
yo, I'm walking in CVS. What was I getting? Like, I don't know, baby wipes or something. And I guess they're not
Not
too
the
far from
baby
each other.
wipes.
Yeah, they're not too far from each other.
Uh-huh.
And there was what are those the delivery drivers?
Yeah.
Somebody ordered a
The
Plan B.
It was about to be, and that was
Yo,
before
me and the
that
worker
shit.
were dying laughing.
That shit
Like,
happened.
yo,
Yo, CVS
bro.
is wild though because it has like menstrual pads,
right next to
diapers.
All of that is
in the same house.
The
all that's
the
considered
KY.
family planning.
In the same house.
It's all, well, that is kind of wild. You go grab whatever you need and then see vibrators and
all of
petroleum
that
jelly
shit.
and
I'm just
shit.
like, damn, like y'all just
Yeah.
ready for whatever.
It was at a
You're
CVS.
bleeding. You got
Yeesh.
skeeted on.
I mean, it wasn't stopping a couple people.
Bro.
Now, all I'm saying is that yes, there's definitely people overusing it, but I think that comes down to where we are as a society. We're too free when it comes to certain things, right? People just do shit leisurely. There was a video of a couple of girls talking about how many abortions they had in a year.
It was the we listen and we don't.
We listen and we
Judge.
don't judge. I'm sorry, I'm kind of
Dang,
fucking judging.
we should do that real quick.
Did you? Oh yeah, we could. We got a little second before we wrap.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. But yeah, nah.
You go first.
Wait. Did you see the video with the girls that was sitting in the circle?
Nah, I didn't see it.
Taz,
It's not
Taz,
on my
go
news.
ahead.
It's not on my
I
feed.
was the number what 28?
She had quite a few. It was double digits.
28 abortions.
But see, that's what
I
I'm
could
saying.
be wrong.
Is she
but
still walking?
I could be wrong, but she just said it in such a light.
And
Even if
maybe
it was like 10, right?
Fingers crossed, she was
Yo,
just
she got
saying it for the
radiation.
fucking
No.
likes.
She
I
She
don't
got
know.
radiation. How old was she?
I don't know how she was. She
She
probably is
probably in her
20s.
20s.
Don't
Probably
say
in her
early
20s.
20s. Yeah,
Probably in
early
her
20s.
Yeah. Mind you,
I
this
think
isn't a
it's-
year anyway. This is not talking about her lifetime.
Right.
Not in a year. In
It was a year. It
It
was
was
a
a
year.
year. Look, all I'm saying
There's
is
not even 28 months.
Bro.
What? Do the math.
she was going at it.
That's more than twice a month.
Let's say, because I can't remember the exact number. I feel like it
I
was
don't
28.
think it's 28, but
let's say even if it was 12. Let's say 12.
All right, once a month. I'm not condoning
once a month is kind of wild
it sounds
too.
better
Yo.
than 28.
Once a month.
It sounds. She got on subscription.
Oh, but here's my point. If that's what you're gonna do, just go on birth control.
And that's the thing. When it comes to birth control, it affects the
That-
body.
that is
That
side
affects your
effects.
body too.
That's side effect.
But
Yeah,
like,
it does.
I don't know
is
about
it?
the men, but
But I think
No,
the
abortions
plan,
can get rid of your destroy your ability
you
to
can just
have
not have kids in
Yeah.
general. So I'm just like, what kind of fertilization does she have in order for her to withstand abortions? Damn.
But regardless, all I'm saying, I bring all of that back around, right? To say, I think that the guy who says that he doesn't want to be a part of it,
Shouldn't be having sex.
I think that they have. That's crazy. I
no,
think
that's
And she
what
shouldn't
it
be having
is,
sex.
bro. That's what it is.
I don't
be
know,
out
man.
here slanging
You should
if
be
you ain't
having
ready
sex.
to be rocking.
you only say that because
Like,
you already
I'm out
got a
the
kid.
game.
You already out the game, bro. You can't be the way that your
I'm out
position
the
is
game,
here
bro.
is crazy. Look, if you had a conversation, just make sure you're on the same page as the person. I feel like when it comes to those situations, people switch up. I will say
Yes.
it's a different perspective that I probably can never imagine of a woman being pregnant unintentionally and having to decide what to do with it, right? That's a different beast. But
That's
I
an
will
emotional toll, too.
absolutely something that you probably never recover from, especially if one day you thought you would have a family and here you go kind of clipping it right now. But I will say again, just make sure you're on the same page so that the case isn't that like they lied to you about something, or now they're not taking other precautions, because there's a lot of precautions that can be taken. That's all I'm saying.
Quick plug when we talking about that, because I just went to the Notori Norton Lewis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She had a premiere for a movie, and it kind of touches on that. I don't want to give too much. The movie's called 333. I think she wrote the movie and produced the movie.
Oh, beautiful.
But it definitely touches on, that world, abortion, and, the after effects of abortion, how it impacts you, how it could change your whole life and everything. So definitely make sure y'all check that out, 333.
333.
Notori Norton Lewis. Shout outs to Lewis, which is her husband. That's my guy. But, it's a tough reality that I feel like even that we don't really talk about the effects that it has on women and how heavy it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
Like,
that.
I feel like we normalize it.
But
Yeah.
that,
Like,
just
it's
like
not.
look, as much as I was playing devil's advocate, when you got somebody saying how many abortions they've had within a year, and it's one, I thought is pretty dramatic. To approach double digits
Right.
is outrageous.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
No, that's
I think that speaks to where we are, but also again, that's when you're already creating career paths out of that behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of tough.
But I think Shorty's an OnlyFan content creator.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, I think then part of that,
So she should
I
be on
would
birth
take-
control.
Well, I was gonna say, like, not for nothing, if
should be
you
wrapping
should
it
probably, be taking precautions.
But once again,
Not even just for pregnancy, but for like everything else that goes
Yeah.
on with
Not
that
for
as
real.
well.
Yo,
Like,
STDs
Right.
are
Yeah.
wild.
absolutely.
They are
Make sure you get
wild.
yourself tested all the
Yeah.
time.
monthly
Yeah.
if you're sexually active.
If you're sexually active, even if you're in a
even if
so
you're in a
relationship, even if you're in a
relationship.
relationship, make sure you get tested all the time. Now, okay, so we touched on. That's a terrible segue. We talked about growing on people. Sorry, and being
Why is he saying sorry?
because that just in my mind that just went
Pause.
into pause like
Oh, okay.
sexual. Never mind.
I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on over here.
It's fine. It's cool. Don't worry
Nah, I
about
got it. I caught it.
So when it comes to love,
Yeah.
right? I came across this video and it struck me because we've had this conversation before about how you feel like men switch up once they're in relationships. And Shorty was explaining how a man will start out at 100 and over time he'll retract his efforts. He'll go to 90%, then 85,
All the way down.
all the way down to whatever, right?
Yeah, especially if the chick doesn't add to the table. If I'm the only one carrying the table from jump, it gets tiring. It gets heavy. My legs is tired.
That's not true.
No,
that's
not true. That's what
That's
usually
not
happens. That's what
That's
usually
not true.
happens.
That's not true.
But that's why I brought it up, because to me that is an offshoot of growing on somebody, right? If you're going, hold on, hear me out. If you're the person who's going 100%,
Okay.
you're trying to prove to somebody like this. I think we overestimate the courting phase, right? That's due to social media. We can get into the impact of social media in other ways too. But one of the biggest things is women get windows into seeing what men are doing for other women, right? What other people's love lives look like, what other people's efforts look like. Making sure, like, you know, they say that the grass is greener. They get to see the greenness of their grass versus the greenness of their neighbors. And, you know, they come with certain expectations. Now, if you now have a wall up and he's got to do all of the things to get to past your paywall, and now he's there, do you think what you have on the other side of that wall is worth the things that you're asking for? Because if it's not, eventually, rather than leave, he's just gonna be like, oh shit, okay, she's not, I'm doing too much. Let me, okay, cool, that was a lot. We here now, I see this is the energy she's coming with.
Lightly fall back.
Let me lightly fall back. I don't want to leave this entirely because she's still cool.
Right.
It's just that I thought that we was coming in like this. We coming in like this.
Right. No, 100%.
I feel like this generation of adults are very center focused when it comes to relationships. I think like a lot of people focus on what they can get out of the relationship versus how they can give to keep the relationship going. And they're content with what they can get based off of the low efforts that they give. So just in general, I feel like good men and good women get the short end of the stick in relationships in today's age because that's just who they are as people. Like they can't.
Givers can't curtail how much they give.
Yeah, and I just feel like you can't change who you are as a person. Like if I know for sure, like I'm a loyal person, I'm caring, like, and I'm not just caring to like people that I know, like, you know what I mean? If we went out, like I'm making sure everybody we went out with is good. That's just who I am as a person. So like who I give to in my relationship, I feel like they're gonna get 10 times that just naturally, right? But I feel like people who may not be good partners get all the benefits out of the relationship with giving low efforts of nothing. So all I'm saying is I feel like good men, good women get the short end of the stick just in general.
Okay, not to overcomplicate your message, but I have a scenario for you because I feel like people always try to adjust once they've experienced shortcoming in those areas, right? You were the giver in your last relationship. Shit ended, boom, terrible.
Yeah.
And now you make it a point to never be the person giving to the taker, right? So in order to make sure you're not giving to a taker, you make it a point to lead with you receiving first.
It's true.
That's not healthy.
It's not healthy. But what I can tell you, like, that shit's exhausting. Like, for an example, like, if you go to work, let's say, all day, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you had a construction job. It's 98 degrees outside. You fucking hammering, mad, all of that stuff. You work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You get home, what the fuck are you going to do? You're gonna take a shower, you're going to sit on the couch, and you're going to expect a meal. You're not finna come home and fix the whatever. You're not about to do mad work. And I feel like that's exactly what happens to good people in relationships. You're working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? And you realize, like, dang, I'm a slave to this relationship. When you leave that relationship, what the fuck you about to do? You're going to find somebody that's not going to make you feel like a slave. You're going to find yourself a giver, somebody who is going to give you the things that you don't need in that situation.
I don't think you're going to find it. I think you have to set the proper parameters and boundaries and do the proper research to get somebody like that. It's not just gonna magically happen.
I know. I'm not. When I say find it, I just meant like, you know, you're gonna meet somebody who's gonna give you those same things. You're like, nah, that's not for me. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna be more aware.
But I'm saying,
of...
yeah, your next relationship is gonna be somebody who can give you the things you weren't getting beforehand.
Yeah.
Do you lead with that though?
Do you lead with that?
Do you lead with that ask? Because I feel like the danger is for some people is to come off as either materialistic or demanding. Like the guy, like I feel like part of this entire "what do you bring to the table" argument that has plagued us for like a decade now started from givers being vocal about the trauma that they had in relationships with takers. So they lead now with the, okay, look, I know what I do, and I'm not even gonna bother telling you what I do, but I need you to tell me what you do before you get access to what I do. Because I know when I do it, I'm gonna do it. And that becomes problematic because how do we ever trust that that's gonna work?
I feel like it's based off a chance, honestly. It's roulette. Because the thing is, like, I notice a lot of people do a lot of talking. Like, you know, somebody could be like, oh, I do this, I do that, I do that. Like, I remember, like, one time I was in the club and this dude was like, oh, I got my own house. I don't got no kids. I got 2 jobs, whatever. And I'm just like, why are you listening shit to me? First of all, like, you know what I mean? And you could be trash. You could have a wife. You know what I mean? I just feel like dudes, like, not just dudes, I can't say that, but a lot of people just talk in general. Your actions gotta match your words. If anybody ever said anything like, what do you bring to the table, automatically you're a no. Like,
why? I think we had the conversation.
You're automatic no.
Well, why though?
If I came up to you and like, oh, what do you bring to the table?
I don't think
like,
you lead with it.
That's not an attractive question.
What do I bring to the table? I bring loyalty. I bring honesty. I bring physical protection. I bring emotional safety. To the best of my ability.
I believe you though. I believe him.
But it's like that's what I bring to the table. Now financially, we could talk about that another time. But that's what I'm leading with. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else we can figure it out. But there has to be some that you bring to the table. Because this whole thing of like I'm not gonna tell you what I bring to the table. Now once again, I wouldn't advise coming off and saying that like that. But the conversation, when you go on dates, the conversation that you have should be trying to figure out, okay, is this person somebody who actually has morals, principles, character?
But you learn that through their behavior.
Through experience, yes. But it's important to get it out and to see if the words match the actions. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's
like,
my advice to people.
To me, like, what you're listing, and like, if somebody was to ask me that question, this is not even things I would think of, because this is what I see as normal. Like, you know what I mean? Or not even like, it's expected. So it's not something special. So if somebody was to ask me, what do you bring to your table? I feel like I wouldn't say like loyalty, because I'm just like, that's a given. Like, we should be giving each other loyalty.
Well,
but I feel like in today's age, this is something you have to say because it's not given. Like,
I was just about to say that. I think that what you're experiencing there is people telling on themselves as far as their past relationships.
But like to me, it's just annoying. Like if I was at a job interview, it's like, oh, why should we hire you? Well, I show up on time.
Well, I
got my college diploma. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you gotta say those things.
College, I just feel like it's just like
you gotta say those things.
This is regular.
And then they're gonna see what you do on the job to see if
it backs up what you did.
If it
shows
that.
I know you guys have been out of the dating game for quite a while.
Facts.
So, like, I don't know if y'all experienced this, but one of the biggest red flags I see is the way that people put on their profiles in a dating app. Some of the things that they say on a dating app is exactly like, it's not what you say, it's kind of what you don't say that tells me exactly where you've been, right? Like,
what's an example? Matter of fact, you should open up a dating app right now.
Yeah, for real, facts.
See what you land on.
Nah, why you do that? I'm gonna tell you, like, I have a coworker at work, and sometimes when we're on lunch break, we go through her dating apps, her swipe left, and we're like, no, we be looking at them. So I'm like, guys, be careful, because it's not just one female looking at you; it's the whole group.
All right, like, to me, it's a red flag when you kind of mention things like being courted, right?
Okay.
If you mention things like, okay, what's one turnoff for you? A broke guy with no ambition. Like,
I don't think that's.
Go ahead,
I don't think that's bad at all. 'Cause at the end of the day, I'm sorry to say this, but there's a lot of broke guys with no ambition.
Okay, you see what I'm saying?
So,
But you know what that tells me, though?
If the shoe
I feel like
fits,
telling
What
me
does
that
it
you've
translate
been
that?
dating broke guys.
Thank you, with no ambition,
ambition.
right?
And you tired.
And you
But-
tired of it.
but it could be. But how's that her
okay,
fault?
here's
That's a
another-
red flag
How is that
off of
her
your
fault?
judgment.
Here's another.
If you gotta say that,
Bro, so but you okay?
That's
Be,
like
nah,
me
be
saying,
honest.
like-
Be honest. Y'all,
that's like me saying,
y'all both got a boy that be having like the Gucci belt, new Jordans. You go to the bar, he order one drink and have that drink from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Maybe he don't drink.
Nah, that's all he could afford. I'm saying like
Angela, you rocking Gucci?
Hey,
I'm saying like you don't know, and then that dude would be the person like he got $20 in his bank account,
Yeah.
and he will buy me a drink,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
and I'm thinking like,
no,
okay,
that's where you go
he got
wrong.
no job.
That's where you go wrong.
But
Pay attention to
how are you supposed
pay
to
attention
know?
to the actions over time, because people will expose themselves over time.
That nigga go to the bathroom,
Yeah,
pull up his pants, pour his
yeah.
shit. It's the same fucking drink.
People will expose themselves over time, so pay attention.
You got a boy
Don't-
that's like that. You got a boy that's like that. Don't talk about some bad judgment. We don't know.
okay.
We don't know.
Okay. Now another one is, I'm not here for hookups and things like that.
That's the biggest. I'm here for hookup. That's the
Is
biggest.
it?
Like, yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, that's the sign of like I'm here for hookups.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Y'all sound like you're
Or-
talking
or-
from
Or,
experience. So
they've
I
been,
can't
or
even
that's
argue with
all
you.
they've done is just a bunch of hookups, and now is the time to. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to find the one now.
Do you guys like blame women for that though? At the end of the day, because I just feel like
I just think that they're bad
no,
marketers.
I feel like nobody really wants a relationship today. I feel like people
I
want
agree.
company.
I agree.
Well, here's the problem: is that I don't think people have done enough work to understand what comes with a relationship and to honestly be down for it. You know, like it can be rewarding. There's things that you get to unlock by having a relationship and having the consistency and all of those things. But I think that you got to understand what things
You gotta
not-
give up.
Yeah, not even that you got to give up, but things you're putting on the shoulders of the other person too.
True.
Like, what does anybody think about what it's like to date them? We can talk about all the good things and shit like that. Do we understand what it is that we expect of a person? And truly be honest, would we date us for those things or with those things in mind?
All right, I think that's a good question. Would you date yourself?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh man, over and over and over again. I don't know. Ain't that an Elite Chopper song?
Baby, I fuck me too.
You know what I mean? Like, nah,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
done.
Like, and the reason goes back to I feel like I'm very big on honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all that I want. Be honest with me. Be straight shooter. Don't beat around the bush. You're a straight shooter. We could figure out anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people nowadays, oh man, be trying to finesse and try to manipulate.
I think it's just a lack of consideration. I think that what happens is people have been single for so long,
Right.
and I've had to catch myself with this as well. We try to take our single selves into a relationship. We try to take the person, because yes, when you're alone and you have solitude, and I don't just mean like, I know Rayven's been thinking my promiscuous ways and the things and my womanizing
I
ways.
don't even be saying
Right.
nothing. I be
Right.
chilling.
Either way, what I'm saying is you start to fall in love with solitude. You fall in love with being alone. You fall in love with not having to answer to anybody, not having to consider anybody's feelings, emotions in the way you speak, in the decisions you make, the places you go, any of that. You don't worry about it. And even though you might be a great person and you might fall in love with yourself, do the emotional work and building up your emotional intelligence, part of that is understanding that you have to build up your, I don't want to say tolerance of another person because that makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but your patience for another person, right? You got to build up what that means to be involved and be a team, be a we. And most people have fallen in love with the I in the situation, and they try to bring that and all of the ways into a relationship and expect shit to just be sweet. No, that person didn't sign on with you to experience the single you. I'm sorry, Ray, I gotta put you on blast. One of the biggest things I hate that you say or use as a defense is you met me like this. I hate that because I did meet you like this. I met single you. I met you out in the street.
Right.
I met you in the club.
Right.
I met you outside. I met you at Target.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that your ass
But
wasn't in
a
the
relationship. We gotta move as a we,
Right.
not just
but-
a you, not just a me, as
Right.
a we.
That's fine.
And that requires some type of change and growth, because you gotta grow. Grow don't come without
my
change.
gosh, I agree with the growth, but what I'm saying is, like, when you have
You can't be delusional about it.
When you have a problem with something, address it.
For sure.
So, like, don't address something a year later.
No, I don't
I'm
think.
saying, like, or when we get together, but like, listen, like, I want you to be my girl, but my girl is not about to be out here doing A, B, and C, and D.
I agree
Say
with
that.
that. I agree with
like,
that.
my
Okay.
thing is, like,
I agree with that.
when I say you met me that way, I understand, like, doing shit is like not acceptable when you're in a relationship.
Okay.
But like, if you accept it in the beginning of the relationship, then you gotta communicate that shit.
I agree with the communication
From the jump.
part.
I do too, but I also think that you can only communicate with what you see when you see it, right? Because I'm a strong believer in the benefit of the doubt, right? I go in expecting you to want to give me your best,
Okay.
right? So if I now have a girlfriend, I know that me coming in and being her boyfriend, there's certain shit I just can't do anymore, right?
Okay.
Just out of respect for her. That said, I'm hoping that she understands that she's gonna kind of curtail that too. I'm not outside trying to small talk with every beautiful woman I see out of respect for her. She's not going to put herself on display for every man she sees in the same way. We're going to kind of think about ourselves and how we want to be representative of the relationship
But you got
when we go play.
when it comes to women, you gotta communicate that, brother.
I
You can't hope and assume that she's gonna catch on to that.
well,
you
I mean,
gotta
but this is. I think
Send
this
the
is.
cash app or something?
I pay for parking.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I'm not trying to get no more tickets.
Yeah, them tickets come
Yo,
quick, boy.
$25 now, but yeah.
What, how much?
25.
Oh, okay, good. I
Yeah.
thought you said
I
75.
just got a
percent.
ticket like
Yeah.
an hour ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. You don't know.
$25.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. They making bank on that. But I'm saying that I try to hopefully vet and see that I'm dealing with somebody that's not going to be a problem with. And
As you should.
but I will say, I in the past have made the mistake of seeing that red flag and pushing forward anyway because of how they look. As you know, it's happened.
That's where most dudes fly.
That's what it happens. It happens. And then, but see, that's also what I say. You have to understand what comes with certain things, right? Somebody said like, as a guy, you gotta like a lot of these niggas not understanding how to date a baddie. These niggas not ready to date a baddie. Now, part of me is like, shut the fuck up, be a human being. You know, basic respect and relationship. But the other part of me is, you know that they probably don't or don't give a fuck about it, because at the end of the day, if there's access to certain things and there's certain things that benefit them in the life that they've lived, expecting them to do something completely different, do a complete 180 for you, is unreasonable. It's not even unreasonable, it's just foolish. I think it's reasonable if they like
It's
you.
delusional.
It's delusional. Like, you can't expect the shorty who, I'm gonna get some flack here, but the shorty who went and paid for a BBL did not do so
So she could sit at home.
so she could sit at home. She didn't do
Waste of
that.
money.
She didn't do that so that she can wear, loose fitting jeans all the time and, you know what I'm saying, be conservative.
Yeah.
She didn't do that so on the weekends she could go to the library. That wasn't her thing, right? There was a reason why she did it, and she felt like, yes, maybe self-esteem, but she wanted to succeed in certain arenas. Socially, financially, whatever it is her thing, that was what she did. Expecting her to do different, you're a dummy.
Without a conversation.
I feel like a lot of times too, like, people only do different in your presence.
And then once
not necessarily like in general. Like, you know what I mean? It's
you don't
like,
got no trust.
No, I'm not saying me.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, trusting people, like you said, like they
I watch people for a living. Like, I know how they behave.
got some sneaky people.
Ray trying to expose the girl trip. And
Right,
all
the
that.
girls trip is
The girls trips.
Nothing
The
happens.
girls trips be
crazy.
different when the boyfriends ain't around.
Nothing happens on the girls trip.
Where was the last
Cat.
trip you went to?
Jamaica,
With your girls?
Jamaica.
You was in Jamaica?
I was not in Jamaica.
I think you still got some clay in your fingernails.
That's funny. Nothing happens on the girls trip.
Notice we talking about the girls
Ray,
trip.
Ray, don't lie like
we do
that.
a little retreat. We read the Bible.
The cap is real. They be flirting heavy. They be giving out they was it phone number or Instagram? What you giving out?
What you talking about? I don't even have an Instagram, so I don't even know what you're talking
They be
about.
giving out the Snapchats. They be girls trips are
The
nasty, bro. The WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp is
because they be out the country.
Out
They be out the country, bro. Oh, WhatsApp is nasty. Make sure you check the WhatsApp,
Check the
the
WhatsApp.
Snapchats, the notes.
Man, check the Pinterest.
The Pinterest. Girls trips are nasty. Try to avoid letting your girl go on girls trips.
Goodbye. What y'all be doing when y'all go to DR? Colombia.
I've never been to DR. You said what?
Colombia.
I've been to Vegas. Birthday party.
I've been to Vegas, so what the fuck you do in Vegas? We listen and we don't judge. What's up? What you do?
We went to the pool. We went to the casinos. It was chill.
What was your Vegas experience?
What was it? No, it was chill. We what hotel did we stay at? The Encore. He said I don't want no parts.
I don't want no part of this.
Nah, it was a cool vibe, cool dudes. They had the penthouse. So low key, they paid for the trip. I think I spoke about this before. They paid for the trip. They just was like, yo, pull up, just get your plane ticket. When I got there, they wanted me to chip in for the bottle service at the pool, right? And like I'm cool with it. But then don't start inviting everybody and then hold on. Our bottles are done. Ordering more bottles. 'Cause that ain't in the budget. Like I still gotta at the time my son was just born, so I still had to diapers, wipes, all the
Say how much you spend?
Oh shoot. How much did I spend? I mean total we definitely was spending the 4 digits.
Believable, definitely.
Yeah.
Poolside bar in Vegas, definitely,
yeah.
definitely that.
We had the little cabana, the little area.
I meant like per person. When y'all split
Definitely
it.
a couple hundred.
Couple hundreds each.
Yeah.
Yeah, couple hundreds each.
Couple hundred.
For me, I was just like, I'm gonna pay it, but I'm never going on a trip with you again, my guy. We not.
You never hear from me.
Cause I got the invite, but nah, bro, I ain't got time for that. We not doing that. But it was chill. No, we not. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at, man. Like for real. Like I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm thankful. Which is why I pray for my single brothers. Cause it's rough out here. He's texting a shorty right now.
What you bring to the table?
Hey man, what you
looking
on
for,
me, bro? I was trying to find a couple of stories, but it's fine.
Yeah, no. But yeah, we listen and we don't judge, Tess. Let's wrap it up with a nice little we listen and we don't judge. Nah, don't do that. Don't do
Pretty transparent. Man.
I really wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
We don't judge. Nothing? Ray? We listen and we don't judge.
You wanted to do it.
Nah,
don't tell me you got
I
nothing.
gotta. Yo, you go first.
ladies
You go first.
G-Lo, you got some?
I do got something. But
We listen and we don't judge.
I got a surprise for you guys, though.
What's up?
Check it out.
Wait, you gonna catch it? You gonna be able to catch it? Oh!
That was a good ass throw.
That was a good throw, yeah. Oh,
Big drip. I fell in love with a lit bitch.
Okay.
Hey.
Let's go. Good shit. I like
That's
it.
fire.
I like it.
Fire. Let's put it this way. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We love
you got
to
all
see
sizes
it.
though, because we got the 2XL folks
Yeah,
out here.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Now,
That's lit.
people are gonna be able to order them online, or they gonna
They
be
just pick them
there?
up at the show. Okay, got you.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah, first dibs at the live show. They're gonna be available.
fire,
Yeah,
fire.
Fuck with it.
let's go.
It's a wrap.
We can end it on that note. I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it. Mm-hmm. So the 21st is going down.
21st is going
21st.
down.
Make sure
Open
y'all pop
bar.
out. March 21st, Yonkers Brewery, Whole Westchester. Let's have fun. 2-hour open bar, 5 to 7 p.m.
We may revisit that listening we don't judge too.
I had
think-
something to say,
Go
but
ahead.
y'all niggas
No,
not.
no,
Y'all
no.
didn't have nothing to say. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
about to be the only one going.
No, I'll go right after you.
Now you go
Come on,
first.
you got something already.
I don't. I'm still thinking.
No. Come on. Let it out. We listen and we don't judge. Come on. Let it out. It's right there. Let it out.
All right. Nah.
No.
Okay, come on.
Don't do that.
We
Don't do
one,
that.
two.
Don't
Okay,
do
come on. Ready? We listen. We
We
don't
don't
judge.
All right, y'all. Thanks for
She
tuning in.
got it. Oh my god.
All right.
Y'all niggas about to leave me hanging the fuck.
Okay, we gonna revisit this on the
We
21st.
gonna revisit.
If you really want to find out what she had to say, tap in with us, Yonkers Brewery, March 21st. Come through, have a drink with us. Let's get really uncomfortable the way she's getting uncomfortable right now.
I'm sweating.
Right. This has been Real and Uncomfortable. I'm your boy C. Tez,
Yes.
Rayven,
Yes.
Eman Music.
Yes. We out.
Yeah, we out, man. Catch us next time.